Hi, welcome to Curiosity Club, an exciting show based around fascinating STEM topics that you can check out on Cam Glen Radio 107.9 FM and YouTube. I'm Tess.
And I'm Janice.
And we've got a really exciting show for you today, learning all these fun facts about music and sound. Speaking of fun facts, did you know sound is vibrating energy particles? Vibrating things move really fast back and forth. And that vibration is what we call a sound wave, and you'll be learning a bit more about that later on.
Interesting. And you might remember in one of our previous videos we were talking about the speed of light. So sound actually travels much slower than the speed of light. So whether it's in the air or in water, it's still slower. Light travels about 186,000 miles per second. That's so fast. While sound travels at 770 miles per hour. So it's a lot slower, a lot. And you often hear things before you see them. So for example, you see lightning before you hear the thunder. Have you ever did that? If you see lightning and then you count to when the thunder arrives, that's how many miles away the lightning is struck. And some fighter jets, they can travel faster than the speed of sound, and that's called breaking the sound barrier. So if you've ever seen a jet coming, it's so cool. It comes over your head, you see the jet, and then after it's passed by you, you hear the boom, you hear the sound. It's so interesting. But you know, we're able to hear all these sounds because of the three smallest bones in our ear. And they're the smallest bones in our bodies, and they're called the hammer, the anvil and the stirrup. And together they're about the size of a pea. Amazing. Really, really small, but that's how we're able to hear.
Fascinating.
So to kind of demonstrate, we've got a wee interesting experiment, and we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
But have you ever wanted to make a xylophone out of a water jar?
That sounds amazing. What do we need?
Let's try it. So first we need 3 or 4 glasses, which we've got here, a jug full of water, which we have here, and a spoon or something similar. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to see what each glass sounds like when we tap it without any water in it. Okay, now what I want you to do, Tess, is if you can fill the 3 glasses up with different amounts of water, so maybe 3/4, half and 1/4.
There we go, 3/4. This might not be totally exact, but we'll see. There we go. And there we go. Oh, there we are.
Okay. So now what we're going to try to do is tap the glasses again with the spoon and see if the sounds are any different. Oh, that does sound higher, doesn't it?
That does.
Oh, I'll move that one out of the way. Oh,
Very high
that's
pitch.
completely different. Wow, why is that?
Brilliant. And do you think if we tapped it with different instruments, it might create a different sound?
Could try. So that's a lot lighter than the big spoon. Wow. Let's see. The end of that is really heavy.
Is it?
So maybe if it's a lot heavier than the spoon, it might be different again. Oh yeah, a lot lighter.
Very nice.
So if you could fill the table with different glasses, with different amounts of water in them, and make like a xylophone or a set of drums.
Yeah, what kind of sound do you think could make?
Try and give reaching. And you can also try loads of different items. I don't know if wood and plastic, but that's something that you can try at home. Experiment with it a wee bit. Try different kinds of glasses and amounts, and see if you can come up with a song.
Brilliant. That
Number
sounds
1 hit. So why do you think it does that?
Well, I think that's probably because hitting the glass creates a vibration, which is then moved into the air around the glass, creating a sound wave, a bit like we were talking about earlier. So when all the glasses are empty, the vibrations and sounds are all the same because there's no difference. But adding different amounts of water to the glasses causes the vibrations and therefore the sound to change. If you add or pour out water in one jar, you could even create a brand new sound. So, for instance, if we were to do, let's see how this works. Slightly different than it was before.
Yeah.
Or, say, take this amount of water.
And it seems to me like the more water, the louder it is.
Definitely. I think you're right.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, interesting. So yeah, please do try this at home, and if you come up with a hit or a song, send it in, video it in to Healthy and Happy. We'd love to hear it.
That was great. Now it's time for some more interesting facts. So did you know that to have a sound, you have to have something called a source, a receiver, and a medium? So a medium could be a gas, liquid, or a solid. So we were dealing with all that today. And each of these mediums is made up of particles. When sound is produced, the energy vibrates and the particles around it move, which creates, as we said, the sound wave. They in turn bump into the particles surrounding them and they make them vibrate, and they make the particles around them vibrate, and so on and so on. So it creates like this echo.
Yeah.
A good example of this would be the paper cup and a phone experiment, which is something that people find in their newsletter.
Yes, and we've actually done that before. It's on one of our older videos.
We have. So your mouth would be the source of the sound. The string is the medium that the sound travels through, and then the paper cup is the receiver, which allows another person to hear it.
That makes sense.
So that's another fun thing that kids can try at home.
Yeah, great. It sounds like a lot of work goes behind a sound. And we measure sounds that humans can hear in decibels, which is small d, double B. So sounds above 85 decibels can be considered harmful for human ears. It's just way too loud. So to put this into context, a normal conversation, like me talking to you just now, that's usually around 60 decibels. I don't think I sound that loud. But the sound of, say, rustling leaves or a whisper, that's around 30 decibels. If you go to a music concert or a sports venue, game, whatever you call that, match, I'm very sporty, you can tell, that can be up to 130 decibels, which is a lot over what they say 85 can be harmful.
Oh wow.
But different animals hear on different levels. So, for example, dogs can hear much higher sounds than we can. They say there's a dog whistle, and if you blow it, we don't hear anything, but the dogs do. And like bats and dolphins, they can hear much lower sounds than we can. So it's really interesting, and it makes me wonder if it's got something to do with, we talked about the bones in our ears that are the size of a pea. Do they have little bones that are maybe different sizes, different shapes, that allow them to hear these sounds that we can't?
That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what kind of things other like dogs, maybe your pets, can hear around you in the house that you're not picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I know flies can't hear at all. So, so it's really interesting. But look into that more and see if you can find that out and let us know. Fantastic.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll be back next time to learn a wee bit more about plants and gardening. So if you're green-fingered, please join us.
And you can catch all of that next time on Cam Glen 107.9 FM and Healthy and Happy's YouTube page. Until next time, I'm Tess.
And I'm Janice. See you later.
Bye.